Lesson 248, whatever suffers is not part of me. Welcome to the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students. I am Judith and this is the Lucid Mind Center, a virtual mind training site. And also I welcome you to my garage, which is being refurbished. As you can see, the wardrobes have been taken away. This is my pinboard where I'm teaching Qigong. Here I'm teaching the 3 dantians, the central channel, and the energy field which is around us. And it's only a few days, then I'm going to start traveling again, and then I'm going to take you with me. The reason why this is called Qigong support is that at the end I'm going to guide you to Qigong classes which I have recorded for this section on what is the world. First we're going to read and contemplate the lesson together, and at the end I'm going to give you more suggestion and advice how to continue with Qigong. Let's begin reading our lesson together. Lesson 248. Whatever suffers is not part of me. I have disowned the truth. Now let me be as faithful in disowning falsity. Whatever suffers is not part of me. What grieves is not myself. What is in pain is but illusion in my mind. What dies was never living in reality and did not but mock the truth about myself. Now I disown self-concepts and deceits and lies about the Holy Son of God. Now am I ready to accept him back as God created him, as he is, as I am. Already yesterday we talked about exactly this topic, that the ego is not just the aggressive one, it is also the one which is in pain, the one which suffers, the one which is a victim, the one which grieves. In the Chinese medicine, they explain it in the way that the first division happened into yin and yang, into positive and negative, into opposites poles. This is the first division that happened. And these yin and yang forces, they explain them on the earth as the earth and the heaven force. So then the planets were created and so on. And then eventually there was this humanity created in the middle between the yin and the yang. And in the middle of this yin and yang, there is also the 5 elements, which are also expressions of different movements of energy. There are different expressions of the surge of energy, because in yin and yang you have got the yin, which is contracting, which is attractive, which is sinking, and the yang, which is expanding. And then they realize that there is more energies to it. There is the energy which is going towards the light, which they then described as wood. And then there's the energy which is always sinking, that is water. And the energy which is always expanding, they call it the fire. And the energy which is cutting and cleaning and contracting, they call this the metal element. And the last one is called the earth element, which we are focusing on while we are doing what is the world. The earth element is pulling together, but it's separating everything, keeping everything in its space, but it's also bringing things together. So the earth element has got like 2 different energies there. And it's saying that those elements have got negative aspects to them, and those elements, they attach themselves to the different organs in our body. And they have got negative aspects and virtues. And the negative aspect are the negative emotions. And those negative emotions, they are hiding the virtues. And this is a little bit like this. When we are attaching ourselves to the negative emotions, we lose touch of our virtues. We lose touch of our true self. And you can say this here: I have disowned the truth. I have forgotten my true self, my true virtues, who I truly am, the holy self. Now let me be faithful in disowning falsity. Let me get rid of this negative emotions, of these emotions which are keeping me away of my true self. Whatever suffers is not part of me. If I am in suffering, I have forgotten who I truly am. What grieves is not myself. So for example, grief in the Chinese medicine is on the lungs. So if you're experiencing grief, you do not get access to courage and righteousness and breathing, the freedom. What is in pain is but illusion in my mind. What dies was never living in reality and did but mock the truth about myself. So this body is not yourself. It is just something which is helping you living this life on earth, having this human experience. Now I disown self-concepts and deceits and lies about the Holy Son of God. I just get rid of that. I purge it. I let go. This is in Qigong. We are doing that with the purging, practicing of purging breath, of shaking, of knocking on the door of life, of tapping down on the body, on the meridians, on tapping on the organs. There we are kind of waking up. We are kind of waking ourselves up and saying, I'm letting go of false self-concept. So remember that when you do the Qigong class with me. Now I disown self-concepts and deceits and lies about the Holy Son of God. Now am I ready to accept him back as God created him and as he is. And the prayer goes like this. Father, my ancient love for you returns and lets me love your Son again as well. Father, I am as you created me. Now is your love remembered and my own. Now do I understand that they are one. In the Qigong class, I'm going to ask you to keep the book open next to you, and then I'm going to ask you to read whatever suffers is not part of me, and the prayer, Father, my ancient love for you returns. And that ancient love within you, you're going to find when you sink deep within. You got to sink deep within to find the wisdom about you, which I call the belt of fear. And the reason I call it the belt of fear is because all those negative emotions are attached to all these different organs, according to Chinese medicine. That's why when you are anxious, you feel pain in your stomach, and in this particular area. When you have grief and sadness, you feel like you cannot breathe. When you have fear, you get back pain. You've got future fear, you can have sciatica. So this is what I call the belt of fear. You want to kind of sink past this into the wisdom and let that wisdom rise again. It is like a circulatory process. We are doing that in the Qigong class. So do it with me. Father, I am as you created me. Now is your love remembered and my own. Now do I understand that they are one. And it is important that you do that every single day, that every single day you remind yourself who you truly are, several times a day. The Course in Miracles is urging us to remember that at least every hour, or read at least every half an hour, remembering your lesson. But it's also training your mind, after we are finished with the Course in Miracles, to constantly remind yourself who you truly are. I know it's difficult, I know we are forgetting it, but that's what we are here for. We are here for to remind each other, to constantly remind each other, return back to yourself, to your true self, to your source. Remember you're connected with source at all times. So I hope this makes sense for you. And do let me know what you think about these classes. So for doing this particular lesson today, I suggest this standing meditation, definitely. The seated meditation, if you don't have so much time. Here you have what is the world, and here you have got all kind of Qigong classes which you can do instead, if you prefer. Enjoy.